Chapter 11 of World's Strongest Troll. On the battlefield in beginner Arcadia Korea server, the slime raid is nearly at its end. With just 10 minutes left, the players in the village lowered their guard and thought that Dex and Slimes gave up. But, the player jinxed it. The sky turned red like the bloodbath was about to happen. With the last 10 minutes, Dex orders all the Slimes to prepare for the last battle. With all the heinous crimes that were committed to mass-killing slimes, the Slime Queen decided it was enough. She was just like Batman saying that she is vengeance. She stands over the puny humans like a slender man watching his prey. The party leader tried to reorganize everyone into formation, but he didn't get the memo. He literally got clapped like a mosquito, but the backup came in time with them just needing to defend the beginner village for 5 more minutes. It seemed doable if everyone joined in. Every Korean player decided to stay to protect the village. While the red-haired player is hyping everyone up and developing the human sacrifice strategy where everyone does as much damage, the Slime Queen has watched Attack on Titans before. She knows what's going to happen, so she starts to destroy the wall and start mass killing the players. Hundreds of players experienced flying that day, but it wasn't enough due to only having 7 seconds left. With only little time left, the red-haired player charged in to distract the Slime Queen so it would be nearly impossible to destroy the crystal, but I said nearly. With just 1 second left, Dex has been waiting patiently to destroy the crystal at the last second. It was a devil move. He could probably have destroyed it 5 minutes ago, but he made sure to do it last second to make it seem that Korean players would win. In reality, he crushed their hopes and dreams the most destructive way. He stands alone on the stage like a badass. He is not worthy of being a troll, but he is worse than the devil. With that, the beginner village will be permanently destroyed into slimes' homes. With a bright yellow beam shooting up to the sky, giant purple slimes formed around the tiny humans. With multiple Q screams into the sky, the Slime Queen has claimed the humans' territory. The beginner village turned into a place that recommended users to be at least 80, which they need to train for thousands of years before they can come back from this loss. The remaining players that survived the Slime Queen were chased and hunted down by these big purple slimes. Online, the players were berating the developers to let a beginning village to be wiped within weeks of Arcadia opening, and everything was a mess with someone talking about a player killer that did this. Just his carefree nature, he doesn't even blink if the game developers started to ban him since he did something atrocious against Korean players. But Dex needs to attend his computer engineering college, and something attracted his attention when someone was playing a video of Dex in Arcadia. The video had over 2.3 million views, which is crazy due to the amount of revenue that could generate. The person introduced himself to be Lin Jaejeon and he explained about the beginning village situation to Dex, who was the one that caused it. It was definitely a funny moment. Lin Jaejeon looks back at Dex asking the most important question about if he knew who the beginner killer was. Back to the CEO of Arcadia, she reviewed the news about Korea's new village getting destroyed, and she was very interested in the one user who has done all of this. Back in college, Dex was shocked due to Lin Jaejeon's questioning, but it was all a farce. Lin Jaejeon just acted like a know-it-all. This relieved Dex, but he noted to be careful in the future. Anyways, the professor in charge of the computer engineering department introduced himself, and he started to talk about virtual reality, the latest technology. With a confident stare at the students, he declares that the world has advanced beyond just mere computer engineering anymore, so from now on forward, the computer engineering department will become virtual reality engineering. He explained that there will be confusion, but this step was necessary to make sure that the college stays on pace with virtual reality. Dex was eating with the know-it-all, and he gets asked if Dex plays Arcadia by the know-it-all, which makes him waste food by dropping the meatball. On top, he is very bad at lying about him not being about to play Arcadia. Just look at this face, even the know-it-all doubts him. Anyways, he changed the topic into about the know-it-all's level in the game where he said that he was pretty high-leveled. Finally back in the game, even Satan was tired of waiting. Suddenly, a gorgeous-looking slime queen jumps onto Dex expressing her thanks. Other slimes followed her action and ganked Dex onto the ground. We also get this image of a powerless Satan against the slime. It was a funny sight at how low Satan has gotten. Now, with a proper thanks, the Slime Queen bows to him and gives him the title of Slime Savior and a slime crown with 2,413 more plausibility. The Slime Savior title gave good increased stats on water affinity, intelligence, and physical defense. I just have one point to make: the Slime Queen made Dex her Slime King because she gave him the crown. Take that information how you want. You guys should know what a king and queen do. Anyways, Satan says that they need to leave this area, to which Dex agrees that they can't grow too much more here. They leave the ruined beginner village, which is claimed as Slime's sanctuary. He and Satan moves on to their next destination, which is located near a mountain. On the forum, the beginners quickly found a new location which was called Mikhail Barony. It was a location with monsters that aren't too high and good NPC shops. Many users gathered at Mikhail Barony. Satan asked him what he was going to do with all of the plausibility that he gained. We get an update that he has 33,000 plausibility, which if he wants, he could definitely start another rampage at Mikhail Barony and end any beginner's chance to grow. Satan, with the look of a hyena looking down on a piece of meat, wanted all of Dex's plausibility points, but Dex doesn't give any to Satan. Satan argues that he could take over this continent and equip Dex with exotic loot, but he has thought about this before and he knew it would be too boring if he relied on Satan for new equipment and taking over the continent. Dex wanted to do it his way. I love this guy, my man just wants to walk his own path no matter what. Inside the barony, Dex walks around to figure out the situation of the place. He accidentally overhears that the barony Laxors, where the miners are already sleeping and resting less. With a hit of inspiration, Dex laughs at his newest plans. He walked up to the tired miners and proposed a new plan. He in return received a new quest to obtain 20 iron ores for the miners. Satan asks him what's so good about a repeatable quest to get 20 iron ores, and he explained that with the influx of players, many people are going to focus on getting their blacksmith skills, so with the supply of more blacksmiths, there are going to be way more demand in the future of iron ores, thus it is going to be a commodity. Now, we get to know who Baroness Mikhail is. She is concerned about the increase of the iron ore, which has increased by 50% in price, and this is going to continue due to players, so everything is going to turn bad if Mikhail can't get enough iron ores. At the mine, Dex hurried Satan to make the mining tool with the 8,000 plausibility points. It was an insane tool which increased the mining speed, reduced mining failure, and ability to discover high-quality ores. He is going to make so much money. We get to know that Arcadia's economy is more or less based on real life, where different locations specialize in different materials, and that supply and demand is always changing. Now, the players have reached a point where iron ores are becoming a scarcity. We also get to know that getting iron ores is not an easy process, where it takes 2 hours to travel between mines and the city, then with the added failure rate of mining iron ores, it was better to increase it blacksmithing. But our main character is built different. He doesn't obey the laws of Arcadia. With his new equipment, he is getting an absurd amount of iron ores and on the side of higher quality ores. Now with his mining skill at rank A, he can detect ores. He opened the inventory to over 1,000 iron ores. He meets Satan and asks what he has been doing, to which he starts laughing menacingly, but Dex intends to mine iron ores every day to a point that he can get the Baroness' attention. At the barony, she was informed that they don't have enough iron ores to meet the delivery deadlines with the contracted merchants, and she was proposed with a decision of closing down the workshop and moving to another territory. Mikhail gets frustrated at the predicament where she can't do much because of the increase of adventurers, but to her surprise, she gets the news of thousands of iron ores and hundreds of rarer ores being delivered. Meanwhile, Dex was chillaxing, counting the amount of money gained, which was 5 gold and 12 silvers. If he exchanged them for real money, it would come out to 512,001 or over $400. It was a decent profit. While he was thinking, he met the Baroness Mikhail, who was looking for him. They introduced their names, and she invited him to drink tea, then they fucked. The end. That's the end of chapter 15. Thanks for watching. I will upload more this weekend. Peace.